Okay, welcome back to Happy Chat and I wasn't even going to make a video today. New Year, Happy New Year to you all. And yeah, I've got some other work to do, important stuff. Uh, as this has all been fun and games for me. Um, Yet sharing things that I use for myself to feel good. But I came across, and I was just looking at different things and looking at life, creation of life, how things function, from things moving from one area to another area, um, problems, how to, I like to look at myself as a problem solver, rather than a creator of problems. So anyway, on that, I've made me think, Parasite. And the whole definition of what a parasite is, and how you can look at it if you look at life as in people. Let me just go through it. A parasite is an organism that lives on or in another organism called the host and obtains nutrients from it. So let me go on a little bit. Parasites can be plants or animals. They can be complete or semi-parasites. A complete parasite gets all of its nutrients from the host, while a semi-parasite only gets some. Some examples of parasites include protozoa, I'll skip them, some complex words, typical of the English language. Um, Parasites can cause disease in humans, and symptoms can include, right, so can cause diseases in humans. Now think of people and how they can be the most, or you could be the mostest with the hostest. You could have it all. And then you have all these people coming in, clinging to you. You would class them as parasites. Why would they be there? They're there to gain off you and take that energy from you. You become diseased. Your energy breaks down because they're absorbing it all from you, like a parasite. So, or you could be the parasite in clinging onto something, or you could have a parasite creating parasites, more parasites, being the one the mostest with the hostest, using the parasite for your armor, so to speak, where you would gain more beings like you, being the queen or king of the parasites, and directing them to where you want them to impede that disease upon them, to gain your energy upon that energy you want to take down. You would get your group of parasites and send them like a colony of parasites sent to the area of what you want to take down, that energy. Um, and it goes along with, at the same time, the universe, yet it goes against the universe. So if you think of the universe and a cycle, and then you've got this parasite and it's going against the cycle. But it's got this wee group of colonies pushing and pushing. But you're fighting against the whole universe and its cycle as if you're in control of it all, making your own wee cycle. But forgetting that the cycle of the universe has created the parasite in the first place, that it's give you the chance to blend in with the cycle of the universe. But whenever you come up against it, then you're just going to get wiped out. So it's about following the flow. But when your flow that you create in your circulation of parasites comes against the flow of the universe, well, then you're putting it out that you're better than the universe. So it's like you've got the whole universe here and you're sitting here ready to be wiped out. And it just came to got me thinking about life, how people have been following, coming after me because of one parasite. Yet this parasite leaves many a parasites within others through sexual intercourse, with man, woman, didn't matter. And that parasite came into my field of energy and didn't like the fact that when that sexual orientation came into conversation and I passed judgment upon gay, being gay, that it wasn't the way. It's that it was man's ego that creates that. That there's only man and woman, and that's the way we're supposed to be together in a unity as a physical being on earth. Now, obviously, like, there's a lot of ways of looking at it, but it doesn't mean that I go against someone that's gay. It just means that's my belief. Um, and why I believe in it is because of the physical aspect. Now, you could be more feminine in a masculine body or vice versa, which could cause one to think that they should be with another on the same physical gender. But that's not why if you're a bloke, that's not why you were made to be with a bloke. On the physical aspect, that's not what was made. Isn't that clear to be seen? And because I put this out there, it become offensive to this person. So what's that say? You see, I wasn't aiming it at anyone. I was only speaking of my own view. And for someone to take offense of my view left it showing that, well, they know it's sinful for what they're doing. Yet they try to punish me for their sins, which is idiotic. If you look at yourself, why you are feeling sinful, maybe it's because you know it's wrong. Maybe it's because man's supposed to be with woman, and if you're in touch with your or feminine side, then you might feel that you want to be with a masculine. Uh, but that's bringing yourself to balance with who you are as a spiritual being as well as a physical being, and coming to that understanding. Well, that could be influenced with childhood in how you've approached your life to that sexual desire, because sexual desire was never there when we were born. It's a creation of the physical aspect of life. So that had to be brought upon you in some form or a way through the physical life, but not through the spiritual life. You could still love a man, but it doesn't mean that you want to have sex with the man. You love them for who they are, but it doesn't mean that you get off with them, and vice versa with a woman. But do not look at yourself and what causes that. Then there's a parasite within you that's crept in all over you, that's made you not know what you want, especially if you're going both ways. It's like you're stuck in spirit, but you're in body at the same time, but you don't know which to go with. Um, 1 minute you're with spirit, and say you're masculine, so you go with the woman on the physical level because it has to balance itself out. Or if you're with a masculine, you're obviously thinking of more of a feminine side within you to go with the masculine on the outside. So you have to balance it all. But does that mean that you take your parasite out on others because they don't agree with the way you view life? Because what you're showing is that you don't even agree with the way you view your own life. Because if you did, then you wouldn't be making yourself a judgment in how somebody else thinks. Making it all about you when it wasn't about you in the first place. It was about me having an opinion of how I looked and viewed at everything through a physical and non-physical way of seeing things. Whether it be right or wrong is that's right to me. It may not be right to another, and each to their own. But to take judgment upon me for having my view uh, shows that you judge yourself, that you think and feel that you're sinful because of something that you're doing. And to be honest, if you're going one way, another way, back and forth, and causing disease like a parasite, then you are being sinful. Anyway, this was just about parasites, how it's in people, and in so many different ways. This is just one way of looking at it, or a couple of different ways there. But letting something grow and grow and grow and grow upon you is a parasite. Whether it's like a job, for example, you hear of a job, uh, electrician, you get a spark, you start growing more and more and more and learning more and more and more about that until you become a whiz at the job, just a spark. Then that's a parasite on you. It was nothing until you let it become something. So it became a parasite because your consciousness let it become that. And how you control your consciousness was from all that's around you that gave you that way of thinking. So then you started to feel that way about the way that you were thinking. So you became that parasite being an electrician. And that's in everything. Anyway, I didn't even think this was going to go on this long. I was just looking at things in general around the world, changes, how you could have darkness here one moment, and how the world flips around and that darkness can move from one country to another in different areas and things like that, and how the weather changes and parasites come into it in a form. So it just made me share my wee story about parasites. Anyway, wishing you all a happy new year, and whatever parasites that come upon you, embrace them, enjoy them, whatever they may be. But don't push them on to others. Um, Everyone's not the same, yet we're the same, one and the same in how we are spirit and body, but we're not going to agree on everything. I might like burgers, you might like fish, someone else might like, I don't know, chicken. Yeah, everyone's going to be different in their view, but it don't mean that we can't respect one another. But when you lose that respect, it's gone. It's gone forever. You don't deserve any respect for your actions. If you be a parasite, you can be forgiven, but not forgotten. It's like everything in history, whenever it's caused such a destruction, it's it's never forgotten. It will always be there in the memory of it. But it be forgiven by people moving on from it and advancing in who they are and not being stuck in that past, but never forgotten. This is Happy Chappy. Love and peace.